should be live.
I want to see.
I'm pretty sure. At least that's what it's supposed to be doing. It's not blinking.
It says on air.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
We're definitely there. Okay, we're good. We are live.
And our voice is coming through.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. All right, hold on. I don't want feedback on you guys. All right, so we will mute that. And then I'm going to also go back to the switcher so that people can see our beautiful faces. There we go. It should switch now. Hello. Welcome to the Pious Reflections Podcast. I am Daniel Roberts. I'm joined by my one and only guest that frequents the show, my wife. You have to introduce yourself while I figure out how to make sure that I actually record the video files here.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Lindsay. And the reason I'm a frequent guest is because I'm upstairs most of the time.
That's true.
It's easy to get me down here, you know?
Yes. All right, we are recording as well, so we missed that whole awkward part, which means that when we put everything up, it should be good. It's sitting on your face right now. And see, this is what is impressive because we are running the show and talking at the same time. So tonight, we did a prayer vigil. Well, not prayer vigil, I guess you would say. It wasn't a vigil, but it was an adoration hour, right?
Yeah.
At St. Gertrude Parish and with some Dominicans. And I got to lead a rosary, which was
It was beautiful.
very special.
It was awesome.
The priest did a great job. It will be on the St. Gertrude Parish podcast, which I will add that into the description when when the church puts it up. But it was just a really good sermon. There was no mass. It was just adoration, prayer, and for Charlie Kirk and for his wife, and for I actually did under my breath pray for Frank Turk because I knew that he was speaking at an event tonight at the same time we were doing adoration, and I am an acquaintance, kind of. He doesn't know who I am, but I did go to the seminary. We have the same seminary background. He was there before I was, obviously, because he's like 63.
Wow.
I think is what he said in the video. But I wanted to, first of all, we have some technology that we want to test out. We're going to do some picture-in-picture videos, so you can see some reaction videos. But yeah, I can remember doing some stuff with having events at the seminary and Frank coming by. And the only conversation I remember is that he was talking about a book called The Daniel Diet. And I don't know if that was because he thought it was good or if he thought it was bad, but we were in the elevator together on our way up to like make sure something was set up, and he was talking about the Daniel Diet. And
was he thinking it was a good sell to you because your name is
I
Daniel?
don't know. It was just one of those things, and that was with one of his other friends, one of his assistants, and so when I saw the video of him going around, it was pretty shocking stuff. So we'll probably play that maybe a little bit later. But yeah, it's been a crazy week, and it doesn't feel like it's been a week, but it's been a week since Charlie was shot, and it was just a beautiful homily. And the sermon that the priest gave, he really did a good job talking about Charlie and his family. And I mean, he spent a good solid 5 minutes on Charlie, it felt like, and then also just really encouraged us.
Yeah.
A lot. And it was packed. Here, you talk while I pull up some videos of the...
So, not to just jump in full bore, but I was so touched by the message because it was definitely about Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I appreciated the clarity of speech.
Mm-hmm.
But I was most touched by the kind of the follow-up. He talked a lot about all of the horrific murders that have been happening, particularly the ones like the Catholic school children who were murdered in Minneapolis. He talked about the political figures in Minnesota that were murdered. But he wrapped it all up with a call to action for all of us. And he talked about why it's important for us to not be afraid and why we need to be using the weapons that the church has given us, things like the rosary, things like confession and adoration and receiving the Eucharist. It was exactly what, as a Catholic, I needed to hear and to be reminded of. And he even, like a good Catholic, referenced not only Lord of the Rings, but the Lord of the Rings movie.
Yes. Yeah.
For any of us who are lagging behind in our Catholic culture growth, we at least know the movie. And so anyway, so he referenced, and you probably, I'll let you say the line because I don't remember exactly what it was, but you share it.
It was, he was talking about the Rorheim. I can't remember what it is. And he, I'm just making sure I've got the thing set up to make sure that we're ready to go.
All right.
The best part, the thing that was really interesting was because he said that that there's this human race that is waiting for the orcs, and essentially one of the characters, the king, says, "What are we going to do?" And
in the face of such evil.
In the face of such evil,
and hate, in the face of such hate.
And he said, "We will go out and meet them."
Ride out to meet them.
Ride out to meet them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he took a very interesting transition to that because, I'm not even switching off. It's on you for right now.
Oh boy.
He took a very interesting transition on that. He said, he quoted the passage where, Peter is made the Pope, and he said, the gates of hell will not prevail. And he said, gates are defensive structures. And that means we are supposed to be the aggressors. Mm-hmm. And the thing that he encouraged us to do was to receive the sacraments frequently and to go out and meet the darkness. I mean, it was just with love and truth and all of the weapons, spiritual weapons, at our disposal.
Yep.
And it was the perfect sermon.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like I said, while I was up there, I knew Frank Turek was going to be, had gone through a lot. But we're going to cover a couple other things before we go into that, because I know a lot of friends and family watch this, and I know that sometimes things get lost in the threads. But I think it's just worth watching together and praying for this guy. And so we'll cover that later on. But his reaction and his testimony of him being in the car with Charlie, and I just had no idea that, an alumni from our seminary, which I intentionally do not name because I love the people at my seminary, and I am a Catholic right now. And so I don't want to broadcast that. So if people are like, why does he keep saying my seminary? And my seminary is a great school, but when you're a Protestant and you become Catholic, they don't exactly want you to advertise for them. At least that's my presumption. If they see this and they say, no, you can mention it all the time, then I will, because they taught me a lot about Thomas Aquinas, which is just a distraction. But anyway, it's pretty late. I'm drinking bourbon. What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm having coffee.
Okay.
Nothing says it's almost midnight.
And you have one of your mugs, which is great.
I do.
Okay. And it's St. Francis, right?
It is.
Okay, so we're gonna pull up this clip. I want to show you what we actually had tonight at church. This was pretty cool. I'm gonna switch over here. We're gonna put it on.
We're playing with the switcher.
I am, and I'm on the air, so we should be.
So
I'm on the wrong cam.
Yet.
There we go. All right, you should see it now. Okay, so we're gonna test this out, and this was the right at the end of adoration, when he blesses us with the with the host. They're singing Latin. I mean, that's pretty good right
That was
there.
beautiful.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Now, it still has us
Yeah.
in the bottom corner now.
No, it does. Oh, it does? Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
There we
Hold on.
are.
Hold
We're
on.
double.
We're watching ourselves. Hold on. Boop. It's gone.
It's like a.
And we're back. There we go. That's pretty good.
We're having a good.
Good
We're
catch.
learning. Look,
we
at
are
it's-
learning at the same time.
Hey.
Good thing it's 11 o'clock at night and
Yeah.
nobody's watching this.
Yep.
I like that frame, though, man. We really framed
That's
that thing
great.
good,
That's
man.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Way to go,
Corey,
Daddy.
for that one.
Yeah.
I think it was Corey.
Yeah, it's Corey.
I hope I got your name right if you watch this. It's only our second episode. But yeah.
Back in the saddle.
Yeah. But no, I have another clip too. There was one other one. And it's when we sing, what's the song at the end?
Well, that was the Tantum Ergo that we were singing just now. Are you
Yeah.
talking about the very end?
Yeah, the last one.
The Holy God, we
Yes.
praise thy name.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is great. Even if you're Protestant, you're gonna love this. This is just beautiful. I'm gonna pull this one up too, and we're gonna go back to the switcher. We're gonna go to cam 1, and we're gonna put us on there. We should be good. All right. So now so what happens after that point is you're gonna. This is now at the end. So you notice in the previous one, everybody was kneeling, and in this shot, people are now. Adoration is done. The Blessed Sacrament has been put back into the tabernacle. I don't know if you can see it there with my mouse, but it's right there. And this church is obviously pretty big. But it's just really cool because these well, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the bottom line is that the first part is we sing the Tantum Ergo. And I always think it's funny because there's a line in there that says when senses fail, faith prevails, and some translations even say when senses fail, when senses fail, faith alone prevails. And I always think about my Protestant friends when like we still have a faith alone line, but this is the last song before we actually. Leave and so we'll play this and I'll give a little more feedback. I think I'm singing on this one.
I do hear your voice. Yeah. So
Whoops.
rich.
You lie. My wife hates my voice.
No, stop.
You do? You love it?
I love
Is this like one of the ones that's like-
I love it. Very sweet.
Man, well. You can see the priest leaving.
But you are right. I am really critical normally
Of my voice.
of
Yeah.
everyone's voice. When people are
Right.
going sharp or flat, I can hear every deviation from the note it is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I can hear it when my voice does it too. It's hard.
Yes. It's
But
difficult.
praise the Lord, when you're in a church like that, it kind of just blends everything. It's like God's what is it, auto tuner? You know?
Auto tuner.
Auto tune. You know what I'm talking about? The thing that all these pop stars use where they sing terribly and it just, kind of computer automates them to sound good.
No, I don't
You
know
don't know what I'm
you're
talking about?
Uh-uh.
Anyway, it's just cheap, lazy.
It's
Music.
cheap, lazy, you said?
Yeah.
Music?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that clip. I don't even know where it went. I lost my clip.
Which clip?
Um,
It's us in a frame.
Huh?
A frame within a frame.
Oh, I've got the frame in the
We're
frame.
gonna be. It's gonna be like
got it.
Inception.
It's a good thing that you're here because I would just
It's
keep
me
missing that.
within a dream, within a dream. You know.
Where did it go?
What?
I lost
What
the
clip?
clip that I was just playing for you when we.
Did you save it on your computer? I thought you had it
I thought it was
there.
in-
Wait, isn't it there in the top right corner? Top right. Isn't it
There's
that.
this one.
Yeah.
No,
Isn't
that's Frank Turek.
What are you?
I'm looking
referencing?
for the video of the people who. Is there like a recently saved? There it is. Okay, it's all black.
Mm.
All right. So, do you have any other thoughts on the homily?
No.
Nothing?
It was well, okay.
I mean, you said you had like tons of thoughts. That's like kind of why we're here.
No, well, no. That was all related to the topic about being afraid and things like that. About do not be afraid.
Yeah.
Which we're kind of going in a different direction.
Yeah.
Talking
Well,
about
I mean,
Frank Turek and
like,
stuff.
but that's the thing is like, you know, yeah, we have the "Be Not Afraid" logo here, the or title. I think the thing that stuck out to me, so that we're on theme here, is it is very important that we have love and courage in this time, and that was one of the things that stuck out in the homily. This idea that the church is supposed to be on the aggressive, with love and courage, and it reminds me of what Father John Corbett, I think it was. Why is it jumping around so much? It seems like it's like jumping a ton. Am I not talking loud enough? I think I'm not talking loud enough. Because I don't think it's on my face. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's get
see.
it in the right position there. There we go. Now,
right.
now it seems like it's staying. It's still moving over to you really fast.
Really?
We'll have to figure that out. If you know how cameras work and sample size, see that? It's like
No, I do.
really
It's
moving
like,
quick.
I'm just shaking my head, and it's like picking up the breath of my hair.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder why that is.
I don't think I'm being that loud.
I'm going to lower you down. Are you cam 2?
I'm cam 4.
You're cam 4? Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on. We're
Folks,
gonna
we be learning. We be learning.
We're gonna make you have to be a little louder.
Okay.
And save that. All right, let's see how that goes. All right. See if it jumps back and forth now. Ha ha. It's stuck on me. Now say something. Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Maybe your mic is just a little more sensitive. Anyway, there was something that has struck me. We were listening to John Paul II, Saints Alive story. If you don't know about Saints Alive, you should totally check them out. My goodness, it's the greatest stuff ever. I just love it. It's like, if you're Protestant, it's like Adventures in Odyssey, but it's like Catholic and like just very, very deep stuff. Even for kids, it's just awesome.
It just is such a great moral teacher for your children. And it's not, you know, made up. We're traveling back in time like dinosaur stuff. These are real people and they're real stories.
Well, and they also handle very tough topics that even I would, you know, I went to seminary and stuff, and it would seem like, you know, you're trained to answer like difficult questions from your kids, but to answer a tough question from a kid is totally different than answering a tough question from an adult.
Yeah.
And they just tackle all of the hardest stuff.
Yeah. So you were saying though about Father John Paul?
No, I was talking about John Paul II.
Sorry, John Paul II.
And so John Paul II is the one that we were listening to. And the first episode, he loses all his family, and the whole theme is do not be afraid. And I want to play this clip because I think that people do not realize how bad things actually are. And I think people do now because, you know, people are getting fired from their jobs for celebrating a 31-year-old, essentially a kid.
Very young man.
Yeah. I mean, like his death. And so this lady is on Piers Morgan, and she is talking about how we got to this point. And it's a long clip. We're going to be playing a couple of long clips, but I think it's worth us doing because it kind of sets up the stage for what we want to talk about. So, which is do not be afraid. So let me get this set up here. We're on the switcher. We're on air. We're going to go to cam 1, and we should be good to go.
I'm finding myself very caught between, on the one hand, wanting to honor his legacy of unity through debate and coming together to take down the temperature, and then wanting to honor his legacy of telling the truth. And the truth is, this is not a both sides issue. The killer killed him, according to police reports, because he found Charlie Kirk to be spreading hate. This is a view shared by every single prominent Democrat. Yes, there are people on Blue Sky advocating for violence, but what actually...
That's important because I just had a conversation today that compared people who were not posting about Charlie Kirk or not, or posting stuff, people not posting about Charlie Kirk the same way that people were treated for not posting about Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. And these are totally distinct events. Black Lives Matter leadership came out and said that they were Marxist trained leaders. Like,
well, it's just there was controversy surrounding every bit of his death from the very beginning,
of like BLM, or George Floyd?
Of George Floyd's death, and so that's when I saw all the black cubes.
Yep. So this is just for people to understand, like from a Christian perspective. Some Christian guy posted the other day that he was well, we'll play the rest of the clip and then we'll keep going.
This was the utterly quotidian, utterly ubiquitous demonization of the political opposition from the left. And it has just led to violence because they said the other side were Hitler and Nazis. They said that speech is violence. To combine those two things together is to sign the death warrant of prominent conservatives. And that is what we are seeing again and again and again. And it is utterly facetious to suggest that there is any comparison between political violence on both sides. Every example they bring is not actually showing that, whether it's Governor Shapiro, whose attempted assassination was from a Free Palestine leftist, or whether it was the Minnesota assassinations, which were from somebody who said he was operating at the behest of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. There is a...
Oops. Sorry.
I'm finding political violence on both sides. Every example they bring is not actually showing that, whether it's Governor Shapiro, whose attempted assassination was from a Free Palestine leftist, or whether it was the Minnesota assassinations, which were from somebody who said he was operating at the behest of Democrat Governor Tim Walz. There is a culture among Democrats at the highest level to suggest that their political opposition are a danger, and that suggests that their lives are forfeit. And I want to come together. I do. I love what Shank said. It brought tears to my eyes. I had to reach for a tissue while you were playing Charlie's words. But at the same time, we cannot unite with people who are lying to our faces about who we are, who will not take responsibility for the fact that they suggested that we are Nazis because of totally legitimate views that reflect the majority of Americans. So what I say is, let the left say we were wrong. It is legitimate to vote for Donald Trump. 100%. It is legitimate to be pro-life. It is legitimate to believe that there are only two genders, and we were wrong to suggest that that was not the case. We were wrong to say that that is hateful. When they say that, I am waiting with open arms to take down the temperature.
And I wanted to play that because somebody said on Twitter, it was a Protestant evangelist apologist. I don't know his name. I just see some of his clips sometimes when I watch Catholic apologists. But one of the things he said was that he talked about Charlie Kirk and he lost a bunch of followers. And he was kind of talking, I'm not knocking the guy. It was just kind of, he was just putting a tweet out there. And one of the thoughts that came to my mind about this is that we are in a totally different evangelistic environment now. If some people are saying that if you go to, like, there was a lady who went to Starbucks, asked for a drink and asked for the name on the drink to be Charlie Kirk. And the lady said that she could not do that because the systems were apparently programmed not to. I personally think that the lady was just lying. Yeah. Because, I think what she was meaning is that if it was placed, like if the order was placed through the app or something, it would automatically have a name on it. But she asked them to just write the name on the cup, and they said they wouldn't do that. Right. And so it's one of those things where, at the end of the day, if you are saying, well, George Floyd and Charlie Kirk, essentially, two guys died, but that is a total misrepresentation of what is going on to say, well, the left got really mad with George Floyd and now the right is getting really mad with Charlie Kirk. Here's the thing. No one has rioted yet. Right. No one has actually boarded up their shops. No one has actually done anything. And that says something about the right, that we are not about violence, even though there are people who would say that there are things, horrible things on the internet. But a lot of those people are anonymous. You don't even know if that's a leftist who's actually impersonating a
Right.
conservative to just
Right.
rile people up, which people
Exactly.
do.
Right.
And they've been exposed. Like
Right.
there were those guys, like the Christian nationalist guys or whatever,
Yep.
that like had anonymous accounts, and then they got exposed and they got disciplined by their churches.
Right.
So like,
Well, and again, the vast majority of the conservative movement can't stand that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime one of your own comes out and is exposed as a violent person,
right.
everyone gets together and says, absolutely not. You're done. Like,
Right.
this is not going to be
So
stood for.
she says that everybody is at like the top of government, and I just want to play this this other clip here. And this one is of the House of Representatives, and this is when they asked for Charlie Kirk to be prayed for in the House.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Colorado rise?
Can't hear them. They are shouting down the request
Let's-
for Charlie
let's-
Kirk to be
let's-
prayed for.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order. Shh. The House will be in order.
They are heckling him to not pray.
We will join prayer right after this, okay?
Yeah, that's a level of gross and evil. It's hard to comprehend.
Yeah. And if you're going to equate the BLM stuff with the Charlie Kirk assassination, these are totally different events, totally different causes in a lot of ways, but the reactions are also completely and totally different. And during the BLM stuff, you could not leave your house in a lot of places because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And they were still allowed to do that, and everybody just let them do that. You had people
Right.
not willing to like go to church, but then say that BLM had a right to riot in the streets. They did
Right.
$2 billion in damage.
Right.
This is the other last one that I want to play, and this is eyewitness testimony, which actually I don't even think we need to play that one. But the point is that if you are sitting, and we're just having a casual conversation. If you're not familiar with us, my wife and I are just figuring out this podcast thing, and we're having a good time doing it. And so if you have any thoughts or questions or anything like that about whatever we're doing here, or Catholicism, or want to give a comment on Charlie Kirk, or anything that you think we should talk about, feel free to drop it in the comments. But I'm just going to plug the rosary here. And we'll go through, I am planning on later this week, I think, doing like a biblical based rosary, how to pray the rosary from like a biblical perspective, because that's how we learned.
Yeah.
We went to a Catholic website and they had Bible verses associated with it, and it was a great way to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, if you, this is not to brag, but lots of people have told me that that since becoming Catholic, I've changed a lot. And I think it's easy to psychologize that stuff, but it's a big part of it is the prayer and the sacraments and the actual formation that the church gives us. And the rosary is a big part of that. And the thing is that anyone who prays the rosary every day is going to be a better Christian. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they're a Protestant or a Catholic.
Yep.
If you do that, people will say, well, why do you say that? It's because it's not just because of the Hail Marys. Do I think that Mary is interceding for us when we pray the rosary? Absolutely. But on a spiritual level, in a deepening of your faith, if you don't know what praying the rosary is, you might think it's just like, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and then Hail Mary, full of grace, Hail Mary, full of grace. But that's not what it is. It is a meditation on the gospel. They called it the little gospel because that's how you would meditate on the scriptures. And if we're not going to be coaxed into fear and all these kinds of things, then we're going to need, these are exceptional times, and you're going to need exceptional spiritual tools. And I know that there are great stories of Protestants during difficult times. I've read those, and I've read Catholics. The Catholic stories just are far more, there seems to be more at stake, and the lessons you learn about suffering just seem to be much more profound.
I would say that I think you also just see a heroic level of sacrifice. And again, this just comes back to the Catholic teachings and Catholic way of life, that your suffering is something that you can unite to Jesus and to his suffering. Like just the other day when we were in the car, one of the kids was frustrated because they didn't have water and they were thirsty, and this was like 10 minutes away from home. And I just said to her, I said, well, okay, we just heard a homily on Sunday all about Jesus's suffering on the cross, and we were venerating the cross. And one of the things that I had never heard before is that when the body loses a ton of blood, one of the most horrible things you experience is thirst, like intense thirst. And I said to this child that, you know, yeah, you're thirsty, and I'm sorry for that, but you could unite this to Jesus. Like this is a very small taste of what he went through. And there's just so many things in life where you can pause and say, yeah, like I could just get out, bent out of shape about this and, you know, be all mad or whatever. Or I could just accept this suffering and bear it graciously and be grateful. You know what I mean? So
when you say venerating the cross, I think there's also a good point here to talk about. And after this, we'll watch the Frank Turek video. There is something to be said about the Protestant Catholic divide in this moment. I suspect, not because Charlie was on his way to becoming Catholic, although that is a conversation I'd like to have like further down the road. I think people who are talking about this stuff right now just need to kind of put a
chill,
like just stop like talking about it. But on the subject of Catholic and Protestant differences, to help people understand what Catholics mean when they say venerate something. Right now, you are watching specifically Protestants who will say that Catholics should not have the communion of saints. They shouldn't do anything. They shouldn't venerate the saints. They shouldn't have any of these things. And again, there is a difference between just having a statue of a person and asking for that person's intercession in heaven. But 90% of what is happening around Charlie Kirk is what the Catholics do for saints.
yeah.
They are, in their speeches, talking to Charlie as if he can hear them. They are petitioning and doing, having, like, trying to get statues of him made. And no one would call that worship. I saw a young guy wrote a song to Charlie on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And all of this would be under the category of praise.
Yeah.
No one would call what the Protestants are doing worship.
Right.
And you would rightly be offended if anyone said the Protestants are worshiping Charlie Kirk, because that
Absolutely.
is so rude and offensive.
Right.
They are mourning and memorializing or
Absolutely.
venerating
Yep.
Charlie Kirk. And I think Protestants need to understand that they are not, when people say, you know, Catholics and Protestants have a lot more in common, it's always that the Protestants that Catholics and Protestants have a lot more in common. It's always kind of lopsided that, like, the Catholics are a lot like the Protestants, but the Protestants are nothing like the Catholics.
Right.
And in this situation, the Protestants are actually a lot like the Catholics.
Yes, 100%.
And that has to be understood, like, because there is a real knee-jerk reaction to walking into a church and seeing a statue of Mary or Joseph. But
Yeah.
there are like,
This was one of the things that was like a breakdown for me when we were investigating the Catholic Church. I remember going to Shields, and I loved that they had all of these statues of great Americans outside of it. And that didn't offend me or bother me. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point thinking like, man, something's wrong with me because I'm never bothered when I see, George Washington or Teddy Roosevelt. And the moment I see St. Joseph, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, something's up. So anyhow.
Yeah. I also think that, people say, well, we don't put statues of Charlie in our churches. And that's fine. Then, like, would you be okay with Catholics putting a statue of Joseph on a college campus? Or like a Christian campus?
Yeah.
Like, these are the things that actually do show that, yeah, Protestants, you actually do behave like Catholics sometimes. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what Catholics actually teach.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do want to move on, and we can talk about, this is a long 5-minute clip of Dr. Frank Turek. I'm going to say Dr. Frank Turek because it's not like he and I are friends. He doesn't know who I am. But I saw this video last night, and the reason why I'm playing this is because, if anybody is watching this who's a friend of mine or anything, you got to be praying for Dr. Frank Turek and his family. It's just a very moving segment that he did on his show yesterday. And so, he obviously is okay with this being on the internet. He obviously wants people to watch it. He obviously wants people to know about it. So don't take this as like, clickbait or whatever. That's part of the reason why I moved it to the back of the episode, was just trying to avoid any of those suspicions. But it's a very moving video. So I'm going to cue this up and get this ready to go.
This is the first time I've seen this
Yeah,
video.
you haven't seen this. So. All right.
There. Now, here's what Erica wants me to relate on Sunday. This is going to be the hard part, but maybe also the comforting part. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older than Charlie. He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit, if your son got hit, what would you do? What would you do? I got in the car. Because if there was any way I could save him, I had to do something. I couldn't just take him. You guys got it. So they got him into the side of the car. It was an SUV. It was the SUV we took over. And I'm on one side, and there's actually some video of this. Somebody's taking video of this. I'm on one side of the car, the right side, and they're getting Charlie in. So I run over to the other side, but the guy who was dragging him in is now blocking that entrance. So at that point, I run around to the back. I pop the back gate open, and I jump in the back. The car lurches forward. Apparently somebody jumped in the car. So the car lurches forward, so I almost fall out of the car, the SUV. Then I grab the thing and close it, and there's 5 of us in the car now. Justin is driving. Dan is up front with the GPS. Rick has got him. Rick's on my left, and Brian is there, and I'm coming over the back seat, and Charlie's laid out in front, just right in front of me. And Charlie's so tall, we can't close the door. We drove 4 miles, I don't know, it's 4 something miles, all the way to the hospital with the door open. To this day, I don't know how Brian stayed in the car, because we're just go. We're trying to stop the bleeding. You saw it. And I'm yelling, come on, Charlie, come on, come on. Meanwhile, my phone is still on. My son and daughter-in-law are hearing this whole thing. And his security team, again, Justin, Dan, Brian, and Rick, they love Charlie. But they were much cooler than I mean, they're just carrying out, they're calmly, but they're swiftly doing exactly what they were trained to do. Rick starts praying out loud. I'm praying out loud. We're yelling, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. My son's hearing all this. And we're doing the best we can to navigate traffic. This is not a highway. We're on surface streets. And suddenly there's an ambulance coming toward us. And there was conversation in the car. Should we stop? We're like, no, just keep going. Just keep going. The doctor later said that was the right thing to do. Ambulance goes by us. We're still heading to the hospital, trying to get there. At one point, somebody says, let's get there in one piece because we're cutting through intersections. You know, we're just beeping the horn. This is not a emergency vehicle. There's no lights. There's none of this. And I go, we got to start CPR. So I try and start that. Now, Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later. But of course, we had to try. And by the way, there was just nothing any of us could do about it. We were giving him CPR, but nothing was happening. It wasn't like if we had better first aid or we had better medical facilities or we were faster to the hospital, we could have saved him. We couldn't. So if that's any comfort at all, Charlie didn't suffer. He was gone. He was with Jesus, absent from the body, present with the Lord. That's where he was. Now, it is true, when we got to the hospital and they started working on him right away, they did get a pulse back. And so Rick and I were just, everyone's praying. We're just praying for a miracle. We had a small sliver of hope. And the doctor later said that we got a pulse because Charlie was a very healthy man. But the shot was catastrophic. So 20 or 30 minutes later, the surgeon came out and said he was dead.
My mom sent me a psalm that I think is appropriate for everything that is going on, and I'm just going to read it, and I think we'll just close it out. But before I do, I don't know if I have no idea if Frank will ever see this at all, but we did, as a church, with everybody in there, all the singing and stuff, we did actually pray a rosary for, not just for Charlie and his family, but for all of the evil that's happening right now. But while I was up there, I just remembered, oh yeah, Frank is going through it right now, and he's actually given a talk on the problem of evil. And so I think it was on the third glorious mystery, I said, I just whispered under my breath for Frank Turek. And so I prayed for you, Frank, Dr. Turek, and can't imagine what you were going through. And, as a fellow alum, I just wanted to pray for you.
And we're going to keep praying for you and your family. And it's beautiful that it happened during the third glorious mystery, which is the coming down of the Holy Spirit. And so, yeah.
Yep. So this is Psalm 37. And again, we're going to be courageous in these moments. That's one of the reasons why we decided to start the podcast. We had, for those that don't know, we had originally planned to sell everything in here and just make it a study. But we really want to try and encourage people to love Jesus, to learn what the church teaches, ask questions about what all this means. We're here for you. So ask your questions. But this is Psalm 37. The fate of the sinners and the reward of the just. Now, Mom, if you're watching this, I am using a different translation probably, so if it sounds different, we can talk later. Do not be provoked by evildoers. Do not envy those who do wrong. Like grass, they wither quickly. Like green plants, they wilt away. Trust in the Lord and do good, that you may dwell in the land and live secure. Find your delight in the Lord, who will give you your heart's desire. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. And make your righteousness shine like the dawn, your justice like noonday. Be still before the Lord. Wait for him. Do not be provoked by the prosperous, nor by malicious schemers. Refrain from anger, abandon wrath. Do not be provoked, it brings only harm. Those who do evil will be cut off, but those who wait for the Lord will inherit the earth. Wait a little, and the wicked will turn off the switcher. Wait a little, and the wicked will be no more. Look for them, and they will not be there. But the poor will inherit the earth. Will delight in great prosperity. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them. But my Lord laughs at them, because he sees that their day is coming. The wicked unsheath their swords. They string their bows to fell the poor and oppressed, to slaughter those whose way is upright. Their swords will pierce their own hearts. Their bows will be broken. Better the meagerness of the righteous one than the plenty of the wicked. The arms of the wicked will be broken, while the Lord will sustain the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the blameless. Their heritage lasts forever. They will not be ashamed when times are bad. In days of famine, they will be satisfied. The wicked perish, enemies of the Lord. They shall be consumed like fattened lambs. Like smoke, they disappear. The wicked one borrows but does not repay. The righteous one is generous and gives. For those blessed by the Lord will inherit the earth, but those accursed will be cut off. The valiant one whose steps are guided by the Lord, who will delight in his way, may stumble, but he will never fall, for the Lord holds his hand. Neither in my youth nor now in old age have I seen the righteous one abandoned, or his offspring begging for bread. All day long he is gracious and lends, and his offspring become a blessing. Turn from evil and do good, that you may be settled forever. For the Lord loves justice and does not abandon the faithful. When the unjust are destroyed and the offspring of the wicked cut off, the righteous will inherit the earth and dwell in it forever. The mouth of the righteous utters wisdom. His tongue speaks what is right. God's teaching is in his heart. His steps do not falter. The wicked spies on the righteous and seeks to kill him, but the Lord does not abandon him in his power, nor let him be condemned when tried. Wait eagerly for the Lord and keep his way. He will raise you up to inherit the earth. You will see when the wicked are cut off. I have seen a ruthless scoundrel spreading out like a green cedar. When I passed by again, he was gone. Though I searched, he could not be found. Observe the person of integrity and mark the upright, because there is a future for a man of peace. Sinners will be destroyed together. The future of the wicked will be cut off. The salvation of the righteous is from the Lord, their refuge in a time of distress. The Lord helps and rescues them, rescues and saves them from the wicked, because they take refuge in him. There are no cowards in heaven. We have to be strong. We have to be courageous. The first group thrown into the lake of fire in the book of Revelation are the cowards. So we cannot be afraid. We are told not to be afraid. So if you haven't gotten a rosary, pick one up, learn how to pray it every day. It'll change your life. All right? That's it. We're all done. And I'm going to shut this thing down if I can figure it out. Hold on. That was a really anticlimactic ending. All right. I found it. Goodbye, everybody.